This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.
And welcome back to another episode of the Icon Podcast. I'm your host, Gianna. And today, all the way from Canada, we've got Skyleigh joining us. Thanks for your time today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited, actually.
Yeah, it's going to be a great episode. And let's get it started with some background here. You know, where are you from? Where'd you grow up? How did you find yourself in your current market and being a real estate agent there?
Yeah. Okay. So I am from BC, Canada. I actually was from like a really, really small town, like growing up. And then, my parents decided to move us to Kamloops, which is where I am now, which actually isn't super large either. It's only about 100,000 population. But they moved us here because there's a university here. And so I moved here like in high school, and it's been about 15 years now that I've been here. And I mean, number one, I love the city. And so when I thought about getting into real estate, I don't know, it's obviously a really important piece of the puzzle to be somewhere that you love, because you need to be able to sell that area, right? So, so I'm from Kamloops, BC. Again, I've been here for about 15 years. I always say that I kind of sleptwalk into real estate because originally I wasn't planning on going into real estate. I was actually going to school to be a psychologist, focusing on child psychology. And I also really liked abnormal psychology, but I woke up one day and was like, oh my God, I don't think that I could actually do that every day as a career. I kind of felt like I'd come home every day and be crying.
Yeah.
So I was actually serving at the time, putting myself through university, and there was a mortgage broker that was a regular at the pub that I worked at. And I interviewed him and was like, tell me what it is that you do. Like, you have all this flexibility in your schedule. He seemed to make good money. And I was like, tell me about it. So anyways, we went for coffee. He ended up, it's kind of funny, as we talked, he was like, actually, you'd be a better realtor. And I was like, oh, I never thought about real estate. And so I went and I interviewed a realtor, and then I woke up with my license 3 months later.
Awesome.
I was like ready to go. So
That's
I just
cool.
realized that, number one, I wanted to raise my baby because I was on maternity leave at the time, and I didn't want to go back to school, serving, having a baby at home. I also hated that I was trading. It's terrible, absolutely terrible. And I was like struggling because, again, you're trading hours for money, and there's always a ceiling. And I always felt like I was working extra hours, and there's only so many hours in a day. And I didn't want to cap anymore. I wanted to be able to go to all of the appointments. I wanted to raise my kid at the same time. Anyways, and that's kind of how it happened. So.
Okay, awesome. So was EXP your first brokerage? Were you introduced to EXP? What did that process look like to you?
EXP is actually my third brokerage, which I feel like is a good thing because grass is always greener on the other side. So when you start at EXP, I don't know if people really realize how amazing the brokerage is and all the bonuses that actually come with being at EXP. So originally I started at a boutique brokerage that was like independently owned and operated. It had the like owner broker was kind of like the team leader. It was like team base, but everybody at the brokerage was on a team. Anyways, I had very high commission splits. It honestly though, like I owe him everything because I wouldn't be here today if I didn't learn everything that I learned from like where I started. So, I mean, it was extremely valuable. I would do it all over again, but that's where I started. And then I went to Remax after that. I got a girl at Remax asked me to come work with her, and she offered me a better split. And so I was like, I can't turn this down. I went there.
Right.
Again, it was nice to learn the model that they had. And then I had struggles there, obviously, with the way that they, the fee structure and being new in the industry. And then I think it was at my 4-year mark that EXP showed up in Kamloops, and two of the very best agents at Remax, they were in the top, I don't know, call it top 5, I would think. And they left Remax. And I text both of them and I was like, where the heck are you guys going?
Yeah.
And they were like, we're going to EXP, and they sent me the links, and I switched over in like a week. I was like the 4th person here in Kamloops to be at EXP. And now I think we have like 85 agents.
That's
here.
Yeah. That's awesome. And then we've got like 83,000 in the brokerage alone. So it's been really crazy. And, you know, now that you're over here, you said that you got to experience some other brokerages. What have you found that you really enjoyed about EXP, and maybe you didn't expect it at first, right? So we talked commission splits, we talked rev share, stock options, stuff like that. So what have you found that you really enjoy here that maybe you didn't expect?
Oh my God, there's just so many. But one thing that I didn't know about when I first came over was that if you get the mega team, then the commission split for everybody on a mega team is only $4,000 a year, which I think is really valuable, especially when you're first starting. Because I remember like this crazy roller coaster. I'd have so much money in my savings account, and then I would end up having like no money on my line of credit. And it was just like it was a rough ride in the very beginning. And then to have the low fees for a mega team is absolutely amazing. So I'm working towards getting to be the mega team. Right now we do have a team and they're on the 8K split, but I'm really excited for that 4K split because it'll save them all a lot of money. And like, that's the goal of our team, is so that everybody is like happy and has free time, and that money is not an object, and that we all have
that financial freedom, work-life balance.
Exactly. And I don't want, like, the thing with EXP too is that if you do grow a team here, everybody wins, not just the top person on the team. Like, I don't want to be the only one to win. I want the whole team to win. Yeah. And EXP gives you the opportunity for that to happen. Especially since I remember when I was at Remax, I helped, but like I encouraged and like kind of like mentored a little bit, like 4 people to get their licenses. And then they came to Remax, and I'm happy that they're in the industry, but I was like, I just made the owner of this brokerage like $20K a year times 4.
Right.
And I'm like, you don't even get like a thank you card or anything, which I mean, it's not the reason that I do those things. You don't really get a
piece of the pie, but it's nice to be rewarded for that hard work and mentorship.
Yeah. I mean, that's not the reason I did it. I would have done it anyway. Like, I really, really love helping people, and like I feel like everyone can win. That's not why I did it, but I mean, when EXP offers that, and it's like, oh, that's actually really nice to like be somewhere that actually like appreciates the growth and the you know what I'm trying to say. Like, I just when we all work together and then we all actually like get rewarded for that, it's just like a really great place to be.
And you know, you again are rewarded for it. It's another stream for money coming into your pocket, and you're growing the company, which is growing the stock. So everybody wins when, you know, you get some friends or mentees to come over to EXP. And Skyleigh, you know, with that being said, we talked a little bit about free time and being able to balance work with life. And how do you manage that? Like, where do you draw the line and boundaries when it comes to work and play? Because if you let it, real estate can run your life, right? So how do you handle it all? You're a mom. What's your secrets?
Yeah. So, again, grass is always greener. So when I first started on a team, I was like, I can do this on my own. And I went out on my own. And then I was like, oh, I'm drowning in work. I'm up till midnight every night trying to get stuff done, and then getting up with my kids the next morning. And then I realized that the team was the answer. It just needed to be set up in a different structure. So that's kind of how I decided to run my own team. Our team is Forever Kamloops Real Estate Group. And so that is how I've been able to achieve work-life balance, and also for the team as well. Like, anybody who comes to the team, like, it's not, again, just me who's being able to have the free time and spend time with my family and all that stuff. Anyway, so it's like the whole team, like I said, gets to have that work-life balance. Almost everybody on the team is a parent, which is absolutely amazing because I mean, I'm a parent and I feel like my pain points are the same as their pain points. So when they were talking to me, and obviously we were talking about if they were like the right fit for the team and stuff like that, it just made sense for them to come on because my pain points were their pain points. And then we can actually work together to achieve the goals of like freedom and making sure that we all have financial stability, but then you still get time with your kids and your husband or your partner or whatever. Right. So
yeah, absolutely. That's a great hack. You guys have built a team with similar interests, and that's just the best fit for you. And EXP is here for a lot of different team supports and a lot of different career paths, which is really cool. And Skyleigh, let's talk a little bit about the Icon Award because that's why you're on the podcast, and you worked hard to earn that reputation and that title. So, as an Icon agent, how many houses did you have to sell in your market to hit your cap? It's 20 transactions after you cap, but what's the average market price like for you? About how many homes does it take you to get there?
It's funny because I heard you ask that on another podcast, and I was like, "Oh my God, I'm terrible," because I actually don't know.
No,
I was like, how many people don't know? I'm like, I set my goal I set my goal for the year regardless of Icon, and Icon kind of just happens.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, I mean, I don't 100% know, but
price in your area?
650,000 is roughly the average sale price. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so that's just good to get a gauge of everybody's markets. And then, of course, it's not just production. It's not just reaching your goals to be an Icon agent. It's also a cultural commitment. So whether you are mentoring or teaching an EXP world or vetting other icons, what's your cultural commitment? I think you said that you like mentoring, but have you changed paths from that?
No, I still really like the mentoring. I am one of the like registered coaches at EXP for Kamloops, which is cool too. So, when people start at EXP, this is again one of these things that I didn't realize was a thing at EXP when I came over was that when you first start, if you started another brokerage, they don't really help you. It's like do or die. But here at EXP, the culture here, everybody helps everybody. And even on our group, we have workplace chat. So everybody at the brokerage is on that group chat and everyone's helping everybody. But then we have the coaching program. So there are registered coaches. You have to have a certain amount of sales under your belt in order to do this. I got interviewed in order to have that title for coaching for new agents to come on. But you get when people get their license and they come to EXP, if you don't do a certain amount of sales, you get teamed up with the coach and then they help you obviously expand and do better. And you get to learn the ins and outs of the business where other brokerages don't have that. So, I mean, I just love that. And again, I really like it when people are successful. Like I think that one day I'm going to step out of production and just run a coaching program because it just, I don't know, it gets me out of bed every morning. It's so exciting when you're like, I taught them that, or like that you gave them the tools to be successful and that they're killing it. And it's just like, it's just really exciting when you can help other people have the freedom that you thought wasn't possible for yourself, but were able to achieve. And then now you've duplicated that in someone else. Right.
Absolutely.
So, yes, it's definitely the mentorship. That's my favorite part. And like I said, the coaching thing is really cool that EXP offers as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right with the coaching and boosts morale, and it makes it more of a welcoming environment instead of, like you said, do or die, dog eat dog kind of world.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I always say too, like our industry was really sad before because you're in number one, you need to play nice with the other agents around because you need to put deals together. That's the whole point of being a realtor. You put deals together for your clients. You're supposed to play nice with each other. But then there's a lot of agents out there that are like, oh, if they're successful, that's going to take from me. And EXP has a mentality of abundance. And like, I've always lived that way. And I always feel like it comes back tenfold when you're just willing to give everything to other people. And EXP has really kind of put that in motion that real estate doesn't have to be dog eat dog. It doesn't have to feel car salesy where you're stealing other people's clients. Like just be a decent human and help people get what they want. And it's like that Zed Ziglar quote, right? Like it is 100% true. And I feel like have you ever read The Go Giver by Bob
The what?
Berg,
What
because
was the name
that
of
is
that book?
also
Sorry.
an amazing book, and I feel like EXP like reflects that a lot as well.
Mm. And Skyleigh, what was the name of that
It's
book? I'm
called The
sorry,
Go-Giver by Bob
The
Berg.
Go-Giver. Okay, awesome. I love that. And I'll have to definitely check that book out because, I'm always looking to it's an industry that you have to, it's a continuous learning process. So, what is your favorite part of the Icon Award?
Okay, so the Icon Award, I feel like there's, obviously a lot of good things about the Icon Award, but I feel like the stock
the
program,
stock options and shareholders, EXP Con, the big glass shiny trophy, but that stock option, along with like reputation.
Yeah, I think
cool.
that stock award is probably my favorite part because you're going to pay into any brokerage that you're at. So the fact that you can actually earn it back here is amazing. And then, it's like just like a little extra savings account that you just like, it's just, I don't know. I find like it's free money because you don't get it anywhere else. So, I wasn't going to have it before anyway, so I might as well consider it free money. And then, like you said, the reputation's pretty cool too. The fact that you put Icon behind your name, people know you do a certain amount of volume and that you kind of know what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, with that reputation, it's easier for people to throw referrals to you and like just to keep that reputation going with that kind of, the international aspect of EXP. Hey, here's somebody that, I can trust with your business in Canada if you're looking to move there.
Yeah. I think that's really important because it's hard to like, you only know agents from on like a friendship standpoint. You don't know them from a business standpoint. So like you said, if you hand a referral over to an Icon agent, it's good to know that they know what they're doing and that they have credibility because they've done enough deals, that they have the experience, because you can hand it to someone and they're a really great person, but then if they don't have the experience or the knowledge, it's like, are they going to do a really good job? And obviously you want to give your clients or referrals to somebody that's going to do a good job for them. So right. I agree.
That's important. And Skyleigh, as a mentor, as somebody that's done a lot of transactions and you've iconed, when somebody's looking to move over to EXP, or maybe a rookie is looking at making us their first brokerage, what does it take for them to icon in their first year? Obviously, there's a lot to do and a lot to learn with EXP. So how can they kind of narrow their focus and make sure that they are headed in the right direction to icon if that's possible? Mistakes to avoid? Any advice you have?
I do think it's possible to icon in your first year. I really do. I feel like if you set a expected amount of activities every single day and you follow those activities and you are, number one, accountable to yourself, and that you are making sure that you are doing those daily activities, then, and being consistent, obviously, is that you can 100% hit it. I don't think that there is anybody out there that can't hit it. I think that everybody is quite capable. Number one thing that I believe would get you there would be finding a mentor, because you can't do it alone. You come out of the course and honestly, they teach you 1001 ways not to get sued. And the course is really great, but then at the same time, it doesn't teach you how to get your clients from point A to point B. It doesn't teach you how to nurture them for the long run. It doesn't teach you how to manage your listings. It doesn't teach you, number one, even how to get clients. Like it doesn't, there's so much to learn. And a wonderful thing again about EXP is that we do have a daily calendar on all these courses that you can take. Obviously, picking and choosing the ones that best fit you is going to be important, because it can be overwhelming with how much there is out there that you can learn. But just schedule yourself in a time to do personal development and once a week and do those courses. Make sure you do your daily activities, which would be like connect with 5 of your own sphere of influence a day, make 20 new contacts a day, like get out into the community, stuff like that. And if you do it on a daily basis, and you'll 100% get there. Just make sure you get a mentor, because there's going to be a lot of bumps along the road and not one deal is ever the same.
Right.
Don't think that you're going to wake up one day and be like, I know it all. That is not what real estate is about. It is always going to be different. And I'm still learning. I've only been in the industry 6 years, but there are people that I've talked to that have been in the industry 25, 40 years, and they're still learning. So rules change, make sure you're up to date on all the information and collaborate with others.
It's a continuous learning process, Skyleigh. And, you know, you said it's important to get a mentor. It's true, or a coach, somebody to hold you accountable, somebody to help you get over road bumps, somebody a little more experienced than you, referrals for, you know, helping, whether your client needs like a little bit of mortgage help or whatever else there is to be done.
Lots and lots of things. Oh my gosh. And we're always developing things too. That's the thing. Like, it's never going to be like, we're done with this and then you move on to something else. Like, you might do that, but then you're going to come back and like break the first thing and then fix it again and make it better than it was before. There's just so much going on. And yeah. And honestly, like, I think the other one too would be to get an assistant early, because you don't want to dilute your time by doing all of the maintenance work behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Right. And then the number one thing that you should be spending your time on is prospecting and spending time with people and your clients and building those relationships. If you are diluting your time and spending all of your time on paperwork and like managing your social media and all of that stuff, like you're never going to get as many sales as you want to, because again, there's only so many hours in a day.
Right. And leverage that time, right? Grab an assistant. There are virtual assistant programs, obviously sponsored by Sphere Rocket. So if you're interested in that, check it out. We've got transaction coordinators, ISAs, client success coordinators, social media managers, things that's taking up your time so that you can get to more showings, increase that production. I mean, there's so many benefits to it. And the more you spend on kind of useless projects or projects that aren't bringing in revenue, you know, the less production, less money you're going to make. So you got to spend money to make money, baby. That's it. I will die 100%. On that hill.
I 100%. And then, you know what someone said the other day, I was listening to a YouTube channel and it like really struck home for me too, because I had a hard time getting an assistant in the beginning. I was like, no, I can do it better on my own. I can do it better on my own. Or like the amount of time it would take me to train someone else to do it is just like, it's just too much. And then, we have actually a team of 6. We have like 2 ISAs, 1 administrator for like paperwork, and then 1 marketing girl as well. And like this YouTube video that I was watching the other day, it said, or he said, he's like, I always thought I could do it better myself. But then he's like, but are you doing it better yourself when it doesn't get done at all? And the answer is no. So again, right. I was like, oh my God, mind blown. Like, yes, I understood that. But the fact that he said it out loud, I was like, you might be able to do it better, but if it never gets done, then
you're not doing it at all.
You're not doing it at all. So, I mean, it's better to have it done and like revamped twice than it would be for you just to not have done it or to procrastinate on it for the next 6 months. So.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right, Skyleigh. And leverage. That's the key to iconing and high production and more money in your pocket.
Yes, I agree.
And Skyleigh, coming up on our last question here, it's kind of a 2-part question, but were you ever skeptical of EXP? You mentioned earlier, right? The grass is always greener.
No. You know what? I think that I'm a weird breed though.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly, when an opportunity comes up, a lot of people think about it for a very long time. I just know. Mm-hmm. And it's happened to me a number of times. Again, like the whole real estate thing, how I got into the industry. Like, I just was like, this is a great idea. We're doing it. And then EXP came along. This is a great idea. I'm doing it. And it's always kind of panned out. But to be honest, I also, so I have my license for financial advising as well. And the company that I have that with is called World Financial Group. Their structure is similar to EXP. So I learned this model before coming here, which also probably helps, because there's all this talk around it's a multi-level marketing and this and this and this. And I'm like, but everything's multi-level marketing. Like, look at Walmart. You can't tell me that the CEO of Walmart gets paid less than the freaking tellers.
Right.
Like, everything's a tier. And I mean, if there's a structure that's win-win for everybody, then why not go for it? And like, thank you, Glenn Sanford, for putting this into freaking play.
Right.
So, I mean, there's probably a number of people who were like, oh, it'd be really great to do this. But the fact that there was a human being out there that actually was like, I am going to put this to work and actually do it. Like, he's changed lives. changed freaking lives. And not even just like a few people's lives. How many agents did you say we have again?
I think we just sailed past 83,000. Mm-hmm.
He's changed 83,000 people's freaking lives. It's amazing. And he's doing well for it.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
I mean, just be a decent human, help others get to where they want to go, give them the life that they want, and you're going to get a really awesome life in return. It's just the way that the world works.
Right. You're right, Skyleigh.
And like, don't be scared of something that's different. Like, yes, things are different all the time, but like, just take the opportunity. If it doesn't work out, then just go back. I mean, but it would work out. I mean, it's worked out for 83,000 other people.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. And Skyleigh, what, you kind of touched on it. It's worked out for everybody else, but to anybody watching right now, or I guess your past self was like, let's go. But to anybody watching right now that's like skeptical and they see the greener grass, but they hear things like, oh, it's a cult, it's a pyramid scheme, it's this, it's that. What would you, I don't know, advise them in making that switch? What would you say to make them come over sooner, to cut that cord and make the leap?
Well, number one, I think that your past brokerage is never going to not bring you back on if you change your freaking mind.
Right.
Right? That's 20 grand in their pocket every year. They're not going to be like, oh, sorry, you like offended me by going somewhere else. They're going to take you back. It's money in their pocket. So
for sure.
I mean, right. And then not only that, like nothing good ever happens from being in your comfort zone.
Right.
So just go for it. And if it doesn't work out, just go somewhere else. Like it's not like I said, it's not like nobody else is ever going to take you again. The EXP is the only model like this. So, I mean, it's not, you have tons of other choices.
Yeah.
So if you came from Remax, go to EXP, and then you're like, oh crap, I made a mistake. And you don't want to go back to Remax because you're like a dog with a tail between your legs. You don't have to go to Royal LePage, go to Keller Williams, go somewhere else. Right. And they have a similar model to Remax anyway. So.
And what's the worst that can happen?
What's the worst can happen? It doesn't work out. Nobody that's successful doesn't fail. So just go for it. That's my advice.
Go for it. I love that, Skyleigh. We have had an amazing podcast despite a few technical errors, but thanks to my awesome virtual assistants, we're going to get a lot of those edited out, and those listening really aren't even going to notice. But Skyleigh, any last words as we wrap up today? Are you going to be at EXPCon?
I'm getting married on that weekend, so unfortunately not.
That's really selfish of you, but
I know.
Okay.
I know. I thought that
wedding.
too. I would love to. I'm going to go next year, I promise. And they're always in like really sweet locations too, so you can make like a mini vacay out of it.
Oh, for sure.
And then
Everybody
like you said,
does.
right, and network with other people. I think like, that's another one. Like networking with like-minded people obviously is going to help your growth as well. So I don't know. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for having me. I was really excited to get that email to ask if I wanted to be on the podcast. So
I'm so happy you joined us. If you have any Icon friends, send them my way. If you ever want to do a spin-off episode, let me know. It's a free resource to you guys. Any last words as we wrap it up, Kylie?
That is wonderful. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. And we'll see you next year at EXPCon.
Okay, bye. Thank you.
Thanks, Kylie. Bye.
This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at SphereRocketVA.com and find out how we can make your life easier.